Okay. So from here means from sympathetic nervous system we will start today. The preganglionic neurons originate in spinal cord at the thoracic and lumbar level. Okay, we have already discussed what is preganglionic and what is postganglionic neuron, right? Any confusion in this? Any doubt? Okay, so preganglionic neuron means neuron before the ganglion, and postganglionic means neuron after the ganglion. So preganglionic neuron originate in spinal cord at the thoracic and lumbar levels, that is T1 to L2. Hence it is thoracolumbar outflow. Okay. Preganglionic neurons are thoracolumbar outflow. It releases acetylcholine at synapse. Okay. You know what is synapse? We have already discussed during cell chapter. What is synapse?
Synapse is the junction where one neuron ends and the another neuron begins.
Yes, very good. It's a junction of two neuron, right? So in synapses, these preganglionic neurons release acetylcholine for communication or for transferring the information. Okay. Now, postganglionic neuron is uh, cell body in synaptic ganglion and terminates in organ. Sorry. So
I think
postganglion,
you're not feeling well at all. You're
yes,
you're not feeling well. Looks like you're suffering with cold and cough right now.
but we have to go. We don't have so much of time. I'm going through, and I can do. We can't excuse of our body. We have to work on. So no problem. If you are, if you people are not feeling it's comfortable, then we have to stop.
No, no, it's not like that, ma'am. I can sense how much you're suffering. You're not feeling well at all.
No problem. We have to go on. Okay. So postganglionic neuron is cell body in the synaptic ganglion and terminates in organ. Okay. Means postganglionic neuron is terminating in the organ. Means it is already understood by the terminology only. When from central nervous system or this information is going through preganglionic neuron, and after the ganglion, postganglionic neuron reaches that information to the target site or the gland or the organ, right? Means information is coming from central nervous system through preganglionic neuron, and after that ganglion, postganglionic neuron is present, and this postganglionic neuron is ending up in the target organ, and this postganglionic neuron releases noradrenaline at synapse. So what is the difference between pre and post in communication? Pre-ganglionic neuron releases acetylcholine in synapse for communication, and postganglionic neuron postganglionic neuron releases noradrenaline at synapse. Now, synaptic ganglia. The lateral chains of synaptic ganglia extends from upper cervical level of sacrum. Sorry, upper cervical level to sacrum. Okay. The sympathetic ganglia, that is a lateral chain of sympathetic ganglia, extends from upper cervical level to sacrum, one chain lying in each side of vertebral bodies, right? Like here in the, yeah, here in this picture you can see this black line in the middle is a spinal cord, and just behind that, just beside that spinal cord, chain of ganglions are present. Right? Ganglions are, what are ganglions? Please reply fast. Yes, please. How many times we have discussed what is ganglion and what is nerve?
Ma'am, ganglion, if I remember it right, it is a group of cell bodies.
Yes, you are right. Don't hesitate. If you are wrong, also, then also don't hesitate. Please reply. Okay. So you are right. Ganglion is bundle of cell bodies or collection of cell bodies of neuron. Okay. So if you are confusing in ganglion, then how will you understand what is preganglionic and what is postganglionic? Do you people got it what we are trying to discuss in the previous slide?
Yes, ma'am.
You got it? Okay. So,
You share the slides today, ma'am, because
okay, okay, no
I'm
problem. I'll
not able to
say,
make I'm not able to make complete notes because as I'm making notes, I'm missing on some very important points that you're talking about. So I would prefer if you send the notes, the slides today. It'll
okay,
be
okay.
useful for all of us.
Just just completing the class in 9 o'clock. I always means every day I have another meeting from 9 o'clock. So I just forgot to send the notes just after completing the class, and after that meeting, I always forgot about this class. So this happens every day, and even Sunday also I continue that meeting. So it's important for me. So yeah,
Okay.
where were you? We like, yeah, ganglions are the collection of cell bodies of neurons. Okay, so chain of ganglions are present from thoracic or from cervical to lumbar, from upper cervical level to lumbar level. Chain of ganglions are present in beside the spinal cord or the vertebral column. Chains of ganglions are present, means you can see here these red dots or red rounds are depicting ganglions, and chain of ganglion is present from upper to lower portion of spinal cord. Okay, because nerve roots are originating from spinal cord, and after originating these nerve roots, they are forming a ganglion just beside the spinal cord. Okay, and each nerve root is forming a ganglion beside the spinal cord, and like that only, and for that only, chain of ganglion is present from upper cervical level to lumbar level. Okay, you got it, this concept?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So for the pre-ganglion and the post-ganglion that you were talking about, we should
Yes.
remember it as pre-ganglion. It starts from the spine, and post-ganglion, it it starts at the organ or ends at the organ.
Yes, it ends at the organ. You are right.
Okay.
Okay. Now types. What are the types of ganglia? Paravertebral ganglia, that is of two chain, one on either side of vertebral column extended. Each chain has 22 ganglia. Okay. Paravertebral ganglia means it it is of two chain, one on each side of vertebral column extended. Each chain has 22 ganglia, 3 cervical, 11 thoracic, 4 lumbar, and 4 sacral. And prevertebral ganglia or collateral ganglia, 3 situated in abdominal cavity, lie between the sympathetic ganglia and target organ. Okay, so there are two types of ganglia. The paravertebral ganglia, which we have discussed now only, that is these ganglions present just behind the spinal cord or just behind the vertebral column. These are the chains of ganglions. This is paravertebral ganglia, and these are the two chains on either side of vertebral column, and each chain has 22 ganglia divided by 3 cervical, 11 thoracic, 4 lumbar, 4 sacral. And another type of ganglion is prevertebral ganglion or ganglia or collateral ganglia. Those are 3 situated in abdominal cavity, lie between sympathetic ganglia and target organ. Okay. Now, parasympathetic nervous system. Like sympathetic nervous system, two neurons, preganglionic and postganglionic, are involved in transmission of impulse to effector organ. Okay, like sympathetic nervous system only, like sympathetic nervous system only, two neurons are present here too, preganglion and postganglion, are involved in transmission of impulses to effector organ. Obviously, the same system is present in these parasympathetic type 2. The neurotransmitter at both synapses is acetylcholine. Means in sympathetic nervous system, we we have seen one difference between preganglionic neuron and postganglionic neuron, that is preganglionic neuron releases acetylcholine in synapse and postganglionic neuron releases what?
Noradrenaline, ma'am.
Yes, very good, noradrenaline. But in case of parasympathetic nervous system, both ganglionic neuron, preganglionic neuron and postganglionic neuron transmit their impulses by releasing acetylcholine only in the synapse. The preganglionic neuron usually long compared to that of sympathetic. Okay, in sympathetic nervous system, means in sympathetic nervous system, preganglionic neuron is a bit shorter in comparison to parasympathetic nervous system. Okay. Then it is cell body in the brain stem, means the sorry, where was I? Yes, usually long compared to that of sympathetic. Cell body in the brain stem, cranial nerves that are 3, 7, 9, 10, or in spinal cord S2, means sacral 2, sacral 3 and sacral 4. Means cell body of preganglionic neuron in parasympathetic nervous system is in the brain stem. And what are those? Those are cranial nerves 3, 7, 9, 10. And in spinal cord or in spinal cord, it is sacrum 2, sacrum 3 and sacrum 4. Okay, do you get it?
Yes, ma'am.
or I should repeat once?
I think I understood. I don't know about the others.
I think I should repeat once more. That is, preganglionic neuron in parasympathetic nervous system is a bit longer than in sympathetic nervous system, and cell body of preganglionic neuron in parasympathetic nervous system is in brain stem. Now tell me, what is brain stem, or what consists brain stem?
Pons, medulla oblongata, and there's one
Yes, and that is the
midbrain,
important one. Yes, very good.
midbrain. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, very good. Midbrain, pons, and medulla oblongata. So, in these portions, cell body of preganglionic neuron is situated in parasympathetic nervous system. In case of parasympathetic nervous system, Uh, sorry, and what are the preganglionic neurons of parasympathetic nervous system in cranium? Those are cranium nerve 3, 7, 9, and 10. And in spinal cord, those neurons are S2, S3, and S4. Okay. Hence, it is called craniosacral outflow. Okay. Sympathetic nervous system, in sympathetic nervous system, what it was called, what we have discussed, it is craniosacral outflow. But in case of sympathetic nervous system, what was it? Are you people listening carefully to me?
It will be sacral cranium.
Really? Which
Don't
portion
think.
of vertebra is remaining now?
What was
Wasn't it
it?
thoracolumbar?
Yes, ma'am. Lumbar.
Now see here. It is highlighted in this slide that preganglionic neuron originate in spinal cord at the thoracic and lumbar level. Hence it is thoracolumbar outflow. Okay. Sympathetic in case of sympathetic nervous system, preganglionic neurons outflow means preganglionic neurons originate from thoracic to lumbar region. But in case of parasympathetic nervous system, preganglionic neurons originate from which
Cranial,
region?
craniospinal, sacral,
Spine.
craniosacral outflow.
Yes. So get the concept. In cranium means at the upper side of our nervous system, or CNS, at the upper side of CNS, and the lower portion means upper, above, and bottom is surrounded by, means upper outflow and bottom outflow is surrounded by parasympathetic preganglions, and the middle one, thoracolumbar portion, is dominated by sympathetic preganglionic neurons. Okay, means when our sympathetic nervous system is getting activated, then neurons of thoracolumbar region is getting activated, and when our parasympathetic nervous system is getting activated, then either cranium or sacral region, neurons of cranium or sacral region is getting activated. Okay, so in case of parasympathetic nervous system, it is craniosacral outflow. Now, postganglionic neuron in parasympathetic nervous system. This is usually very short and has its cell body either in ganglion or in the wall of organ supplied. So it is very very short in length, and the cell body either is in ganglion or in the wall of organ applied. It is that sort, like the gang the mm, cell body either in ganglion or in the wall of that organ supplied only. Okay, and now the functions of autonomic nervous system. क्या गैस ठीक कर दो. Functions of autonomic nervous system are: the ANS controls visceral functions of human body. Example: blood pressure, gut motility, emptying the urinary bladder, regulation of body temperature, etc. through stimulation effect and glandular secretion, and contraction and relaxation of smooth muscles, and also cardiac muscles accordingly. Okay, so autonomic terminology depicts itself. Auto means automatically, means which we don't, in which our concern, our voluntary control do not involve, right? Autonomic means in which we don't have any control. Autonomic means it is involuntary. So which portions of our body are involuntary? That is our blood pressure, gut motility, peristalsis, right? And emptying the urinary bladder, regulation of body temperature, etc. through stimulation effect and glandular secretion. And how this works? Through stimulation effect and glandular secretion. Now stimulation effect is happening through neurotransmitter or electrical impulses, and glandular secretion is done through endocrine glands, and endocrine glands govern our body. Endocrine glands govern our body chemically. So our body is governed by electrical impulses, by nervous system, and by chemically through endocrine system. Thus control and coordination of our body is maintained. Okay, so stimulation effect is done by nervous system and glandular secretion is done by endocrine system. But somehow endocrine system is also governed by nervous system only. So control and coordination mainly done by our nervous system only. So the functions of autonomic nervous system are stimulated by stimulation effect and glandular secretion. And how they work? Stimulations and glandular secretions work by contracting and relaxing the smooth muscles and cardiac muscles as per the condition of body needed. Okay, now what is sympathetic stimulation? Sympathetic stimulation prepares the body to deal with exciting and stressful situations. Okay, fight or flight hormone. Fight or flight situation is a situation of sympathetic stimulation. Means sympathetic stimulation happens when we are in an exciting condition, or stressful condition, or a condition of fight or flight. Means either we have to fight that condition, we have to fight and face that situation, or we have to flight away from that situation. Okay, for example, strengthening it defenses in time of danger and in extremes of environmental temperature, emotional states. For example, fear, anger also cause sympathetic stimulation. Its general effect of fight or flight from the situation. Okay, means you will notice there are some symptoms of sympathetic activation and parasympathetic activation. These are the symptoms. Okay, the symptoms of sympathetic activation. When sympathetic nervous system activates, our pupil. You people know what is pupil?
It's a part of the eye, ma'am, which
Yes,
is
it is the rounder part of eye. In the eyeball, we can see, if we observe our eye very neatly, then we will see there is a small round portion of in the middle of our eyeball. That is pupil, and that is almost black in color. So, in sympathetic activation, our pupil dilates and our salivary situation inhibits, means salivary situation reduces. Airway, huh? Airway relaxes. How? I think there is. I am having a confusion in this. Airway relaxes. I will tell you by seeing, after seeing this or after confirming this. Okay, so just have a dash in the airway portion. I will confirm you later. And accelerates heartbeat. Yes, heartbeat increases, inhibit digestion inhibits. You can see from the salivary gland only. Salivary glands reduce their secretion, inhibits their secretion, and salivas are part of digestive system. So all the digestive matters, all digestive system inhibits their cell. So stomach also inhibits himself or herself, anything the gender of stomach is. Okay, so and stimulates breakdown of glycogen and release glucose. Yes, we need more glucose in the stressful situation. So stimulates breakdown of glycogen stored in liver, and it is converted to glucose, and inhibits the activity of intestine. Yes, obviously we have just discussed that during sympathetic nervous system, digestion or digestive system inhibits. So intestines also inhibits their activity, and relaxes urinary bladder. Okay, and stimulates orgasm, vaginal contraction. Okay, means these gonads, they stimulate. Now in case of parasympathetic activation, constriction of pupils get constricted, stimulates salivation. Yes, parasympathetic nervous system is also known as rest and digest condition. When we are in rest, in that condition, parasympathetic nervous system activates. Okay, so it's very important to remember the symptoms of sympathetic activation and parasympathetic activation. Very, very important point. Okay, so in case of parasympathetic activation, pupil constricts, stimulates salivation. Obviously, rest and digest. Digestion will increase up, constricts airways, slow heartbeat. Yes, heartbeat will slow down, stimulates digestion, slight stimulation of glucose uptake and glycogen synthesis. Okay, now opposite of sympathetic only, glycogen synthesis will stimulate, and stimulates activity of intestine. Yes, very simple. And then stimulates urinary bladder to contract, and stimulates penile erection or clitoral arousal. Okay, in parasympathetic activation, penile erection or clitoral arousal is observed. Now you can see just beside the spinal cord, chain of sympathetic ganglia is depicted by means sympathetic neurons are depicted by blue color. Preganglionic neurons of sympathetic uh, nervous system is depicted, sorry, all the preganglionic neurons are depicted by blue color, but from the portion sympathetic from the portion preganglions of sympathetic nervous system is originating, that part of spinal cord is depicted by red color, right? You can see in this picture, from the portion preganglionic neuron of sympathetic nervous system is originating, that portion is depicted by red color in spinal cord. And from uh, the portion where parasympathetic activation or a preganglionic neuron or parasympathetic nervous system is originating, that portion is depicted by blue color, right? You can see in this picture of spinal cord.
And here the picture shows that some of the sympathetic ganglions are also starting from the cervical region.
Please repeat.
Some of the ganglions, the preganglions, are starting from the cervical region. But for the
No.
previous slide, you said they are in the thoracic and lumbar region.
Yes, it is starting from thoracic and lumbar region only. You can see in this picture from where
Starting
you.
from the cervical region, right, ma'am? Cervical, those dots from where the red lines are starting.
No, the red line. Where are you getting confusion? It is very clear. The spine means these blue color neurons means the blue color neurons depicted here are all preganglionic neurons.
Not
Okay,
that, above that there are red lines, right, ma'am?
red lines are postganglionic neurons of sympathetic nervous system.
Okay, they're starting directly from the spine.
Where are you getting this?
The
Are you?
diagram, I'm trying to understand that diagram, ma'am. Post ganglion, post sympathetic ganglion is the red part, right?
No. Ganglions are the bulging structure shown in this picture as gray color. Okay.
Okay.
Ganglions are the meeting of cell bodies. So
Yes.
where cell bodies are meeting? Cell bodies are meeting in this bulging structure of gray color here, and in case of parasympathetic nervous system, it is depicted by yellow dot and blue receptor like structure, ball and socket like yellow and blue dot and receptor like structure.
Okay.
Okay, so
Right.
Yeah,
ganglion
now
is
I understood.
meeting. Yes,
When I zoomed
ganglion.
into the picture, then I understood, ma'am. It's starting from the thoracic region, the red part.
Yes,
Fine. And from there, it's going up because the ganglion is a little bulged. They're showing it upwards.
yes. And from cervical region, no sympathetic and parasympathetic preganglionic neuron is originating.
Confused
Cervical
because
region is total
the
empty.
got it, ma'am, because I got confused because those ganglions that you just told us are starting from the cervical region. So I was thinking, why are these starting from the cervical region? Then when I zoomed into the picture, I understood that the pre ganglion is starting from the thoracic region. That's when I understood.
Yes. I will provide you the slides, then you can see your on your own by your big screen on laptop.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, please today, without forgetting, please just share the slides, ma'am, because these
Okay,
things
okay.
are important.
I will. Okay. So where were we? In functions of autonomic nervous system, right? So sympathetic nervous system, when sympathetic activation is there, then we can see these changes in our body, like fight or flight situation. In this case, these symptoms we can see. Right side in the screen is depicting sympathetic activation, and left side in this screen is depicting parasympathetic activation. Okay, now parasympathetic stimulation has a tendency to slow down cardiac and respiratory activities, but it stimulates digestion and absorption of food. Okay, rest and digest. So stimulation of digestion and absorption of food, its general effect is that of peacemaker, allow rest and digest. Okay, so
Ma'am, I
mainly,
was thinking about the relaxing of the airways because the respiratory rate increases when the parasympathetic nervous system is activated.
yeah, I was thinking
Because
that.
of the because of the increase in the respiratory rate, probably the airways are more relaxed for the
Yeah,
air to pass through.
yes, that can be. Okay, means this thing, what I written in this slide are right, but I was just confused about the pathology or the function, how, means function of the physiology.
Breathing rate increases, right, ma'am, in sympathetic activation.
Yes,
So it
yes,
is nothing but increasing, it is relaxing the airways for more air to get in and get out.
yes, yes. Okay, so you people got about the sympathetic and parasympathetic activation. Now, functions of sympathetic nervous system mobilizes body energy for fight and flight, dilation of pupil, widening of eyes, secretion of sweat glands, stand hair of skin, means goosebumps, right? Constriction of blood vessels all over except skeletal muscles. Okay, and increase heart rate, bronchodilation, decrease GI motility and secretions, constriction of sphincter of bladder and bowel. Now, functions of parasympathetic, those are only constriction of pupil, secretion of digestive glands and respiratory system, slowing of heart rate, bronchoconstriction, increase GIT motility, contraction of urinary bladder and relaxation of sphincter, initiation and maintenance of erection of penis. Okay, so this is all about autonomic nervous system, and it is 8:51. We should stop the class.
Ma'am, what was about the pacemaker while you were talking about the parasympathetic nervous system? There was one word which was the pacemaker. I couldn't catch up with that.
Pacemaker, parasympathetic nervous system.
Just go up one slide, ma'am.